Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy Top back here with another video. My voice is getting a little bit better, so hopefully in the next 2 to 3 days I can get fully I know it's still gonna take a while, but fully recovered, so I can start producing a couple to 3 videos per day. And I know my face is pretty fried. I was outside for quite a while today, so I am pretty fried from that. But hey, without further ado, I'm going to hop into kind of how to go 12-0 in some simple steps that is going to make really a world of difference in kind of whether you're wondering kind of some simple stuff into even some complex stuff that really might help you on your 12-0 runs. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. So people watching this video are going to be from all stages, from comp players to people who just started in the game. So the first thing I'm going to tell you guys is you need to go here. Your settings got to be right, and so you can play with vibration on or off, it doesn't really matter, but your shot meter has to be off. And I tell you this for a reason. There's a lot of top YouTubers who have their shot meter on, and here's my thing about it. You can go 12-0 with your shot meter off. You can't. It can be on and you can go 12-0, but to really get great at the game, to take that comp level step, you're not going to run a shot meter. There is no competitive Myteam players that have a shot meter on. There is, and by comp, I mean top 50 in the world, and that's top level. But I think to take that next step, this has to be off, and that's just my personal opinion. Now, going to your coach settings, this has to be off. If you haven't watched my defense, or if you haven't watched kind of my defensive settings, defensive tutorial, my settings videos, make sure to do that. But the adaptive coaching engine has to be off, and I do that and make sure it's off in game when I do my defensive and offensive settings. But yeah, we'll get into that later on in the video. And all these should be manual, and that should be it. Make sure your shot feedback is on. And really your camera angle should be the normal 2K camera, because that's what most the players that really comp run. And so the next thing I'm gonna go through is the playbook. And a lot of people will be like, yeah, Ty, this playbook is super good, right? This, where is it at? 13 heat playbook, man. I run the cheesiest plays. Run those cheesiest of plays against me. Against a competitive player, none of these plays will work. None of them. Nobody with this playbook that runs those plays is going to beat me. And I promise you on everything that that's the case. So when you run up against a guy who is sweaty, who is a competitive player, this playbook is not going to work. It's not. And I promise you, a lot of people love this playbook and are going to put this in their 12-0 video, but that's not what you guys need. What instead you need is this playbook right here. The Bucks playbook. Gold Bucks playbook. This playbook is one of my is the playbook I will always run. And here's the reason why. There's not a lot of plays in it, but they got 5 out. And when somebody runs a zone on you, or even if they're man, occasionally I'll call 5 out. And when they run a zone, I'll always call 5 out. Because against the zone, if you don't have this playbook, it's going to be tough. Because people cut all over the place. It's hard to get spacing. So really make sure to make sure that this is a playbook you run. So you're prepared for every type of player. Now, I know it's expensive, but it is worth every bit of the price it's going for. One of the other things I'm going to tell you is that your lineup has to be right. You can't come out here with this guy. You can't come out here with this guy. I don't care if you got him and he's free. You need to run anybody over him. You can run an Amethyst Bong over him. Anybody is better than that card right there. Even a Malcolm Brogdon. You can't come out here with that Isaiah Thomas card. You can't run out there with Jason Kidd. You can't run out there with Derrick Rose, Gilbert Arenas. You can't. Because if you're running Gilbert Arenas, and my backup point guard's Ben Simmons, and at the 2 I'm running even T-Mac. Who is Gilbert guarding? He's not guarding T-Mac. He's not guarding a Giannis. He's not guarding anybody. So that's the thing. You can't run small point guards in the game. It's just not going to work. What I like to do is I like to run a 10-man with my lineup. A lot of people will tell you 5-man or the lineup cheese, which you can try running a 5-man. I'm not totally against it, but I do run up against a lot of 5-mans while I do go 12-0. So that's another thing to think about is when you do run a 5-man, you better be ready to sweat, because there's going to be a couple of games in which you verse a great squad, and you got to be ready to sweat. Because it's not all going to be easy. So I like to run a 10-man, so I'm prepared for anybody. And I put 3 bras at the end of my bench, and that's just my preference. hop right into it. As you can see, my playbook is the Bucks playbook, and my coach is Mike D'Antoni. So you can use a variety of coaches. You can use Popovich, D'Antoni, Stotts. There's so many different coaches you can use. I'm not gonna get really specific on the coaches because honestly, guys, it can go either way. There's no real right answer to a coach. It's really just preference. But as you can see, D'Antoni gives speed, and I think speed's a very, very important attribute to be upgraded. But honestly, really, the main thing I want to tell you, and I'm gonna say this because last night I ended up losing at 9-0, and here's why. The guy I played was decent, but here's why. He wasn't better than me. I beat him 99 times out of 100. But I lost and here's the reason why. I got to 9-0 on the account. I took a little break, and then I got back. I was like, should I take a nap or should I just finish this account? And I was like, there's only 3 more games. I guess I can maybe finish this account, grind another win. Then I matched up with him. I didn't think he was sweaty. I mean, he didn't have a great lineup, and then before you knew it, I ended up losing the game by like 4 points. But here's the thing. Here's the reason I tell you this. Every game you play, you got to be locked in. You got to be fully locked in. And in that game, I wasn't locked in. I didn't want to be playing anymore. So once you need to take a break from 2K, take the break from 2K. Don't force yourself to play another game because we all know what this game can do to you. We all know kind of what happens, what can happen, kind of the 2K algo taking over the game. So the reason I tell you this is play the game when you're refreshed, not when you're sitting here like, man, I gotta play another game. Because when you get that mindset and you match up with the sweaty, you're already fried. You're gonna not green shots. You're gonna turn the ball over. You're not gonna get your rotations right. And there's just gonna be so many things that go wrong in that game when you're locked in that would not go wrong. And so, really, that's one of the major things I can tell you is you need to always make sure you're locked in, ready to go when you do match up in a limited game. And I would say especially when you get higher up. Now, when you're 2-0, 1-0, it doesn't really matter because if you lose, you restart. Once you get 3-0, 4-0, then it really starts to matter. So make sure you're really locked in when you do play the game. And the last thing, one of the last things I need to say is play with who you're comfortable. You can watch all these YouTubers say, oh my gosh, Kobe Bryant's great. But if you can't agree with Kobe Bryant, he's not great. Same thing with Robert Covington. I love Robert Covington. There's probably somebody watching the video that absolutely hates this card, and that's fine. Don't use him. So that's the other thing I'm going to tell you. Use players you're comfortable with. It doesn't have to be the same lineup for everybody. Now, you can use some suggestions. Robert Covington's an absolute dog, so if you rock with him, put him in your lineup. But really, that's the main thing. I'm not going to sit here tell you to run all these different lineups. I'm going to tell you not to run Isaiah Thomas, not to run Gilbert Arenas. But I'm not going to see. I'm going to change this because I need to go 12-0 on this account. So I'm going to plug them back in the lineup real quick before I run into a sweat. But at the end of the day, make sure your settings are right. Before we go any further, in the upper right hand corner, there should be my offensive kind of breakdown, my offensive freelance that I run. Make sure it's the point freelance. But there's going to be an offensive breakdown in the upper right hand corner. And there should be popping up a defensive kind of settings video, a defensive breakdown maybe up here and in the left hand corner. So those should be popping up for you guys. If you haven't yet, go watch them because those are a major piece in going 12-0. Before the game, you need to pause the game and get your settings right. If you run the normal defensive settings, everything on auto, you're going to get fried like a piece of... Like my sunburn today that y'all see? Y'all see this? That's how y'all going to get fried if you don't switch up your defensive settings and offensive settings and so on. Because if you're in your normal offensive freelance, there's going to be dudes in the paint when you're trying to... It's a mess. Anyways, I'm getting a little off subject here. Make sure you do your settings. Make sure you watch those videos because they will help you out greatly. But I don't know what else there is to say. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to run the Heat playbook because that's a load of garbage. I'm not going to tell you to run any other playbook because that's a load of garbage. I'm going to tell you guys how to go 12-0. And that's just me being straight up with you. I promise you, if you turn off the shot meter, if you run the Bucks playbook, if you don't run small point guards and run players you're comfortable with, and follow my settings videos, and play when you're excited to play, not when you're like, oh my lord, we got another game to play, you're going to be doing just fine. It might take you a while to go 12-0 because the sweats are out, but you'll do just fine and really grind out those wins just like that. Before you know it, you'll have Jerry Lucas, you'll have Rudy Gay if you've completed everything every month before, and just like that, 12-0 has became easy for y'all. As always, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. My voice is still a little rough, so I appreciate you guys sticking with me through my time, selecting me through it all. But as y'all know, if you did like the video, drop a like on the video, comment your thoughts, any suggestions you have for people trying to go 12-0. And subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 15K. Smash the subscribe button. As always, I love y'all, man, and have a blessed day.